Uh, Another London team has been sent packing from the EFL Cup tonight. I remember that manager said, I always win something in my second season. Yinka, does he have anything to win in this second season?
Obviously, there's nothing. There's nothing left. The Premier League is out of his hands. I don't know if they are still in the FA Cup, but I think they're out, if I'm not mistaken.
I
The
think they are
Carabao
out.
Cup is also out of his hands. The Carabao Cup is also out of his
Uh,
hands. It's hard to see him winning anything. But I would even argue that even if they were still in all of this competition, with his style of play, you cannot guarantee success. He can win a game for you here and there, but for you to win trophies, you need a solid defense. And solid defense and Tottenham in the same sentence. They are like two different worlds, apart.
it was confidence coming into this match. What was his confidence based on? I didn't expect him to see anything in this match, but he was very confident.
I'm not particularly sure where the confidence came from because I think we said it about 2 episodes ago that Liverpool were going to destroy Tottenham in this game. I predicted particularly that I was seeing like 3-0 or 4-0. There was no way that, taking a one goal lead away from the Tottenham stadium would have, given them the kind of LD lead that they needed to progress to the final. So I'm not sure where he got the confidence from. Maybe because of his, record of always winning in the second season.
Ahmed, Newcastle put Arsenal to the sword. Home and away. Isak masterclass. Uh,
My boy.
Arteta, Arteta said uh, they didn't get what they deserve, something along that line. What Arsenal have not beaten Newcastle in 3 or 4 matches now. What does that say for Arsenal season as a whole?
Well, they need to pick themselves back up from their current situation because the way things are going, it is not actually heading in the right direction. We've been hearing rumors of backroom issues. Ateta complaining he wanted Watkins before the end of the January window, but unfortunately, the management were not on the same page with him, so they couldn't get him Watkins. So there are complaints and whispers of unrest in the back room. Coupled with that, they are just been knocked out of the Carabao Cup. They lost by 2 goals to nil, both legs against Newcastle. It is nothing to write home about for what they are trying to do this season. But they need to pick themselves back up quickly and get themselves back in the title race. For now, they are doing good in the league because they are just behind Liverpool. But the way Liverpool is going, if they don't pick themselves back up immediately, they might find out a lost cause also.
Do you see Arsenal winning anything this season?
Do I see Arsenal doing well?
Winning anything this season?
Well, I don't think they'll win the Champions League. They might go far in the Champions League, but I don't see them winning the Champions League. I think Liverpool will definitely win the Premier League. Their chances of winning um, trophies this season was in their chance of winning trophies this season was in the domestic cups. That's the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup or the EFL Cup. And now they're out of both. So I would say that's a big no. I do not see them winning anything this season. I think that for the rest of the season, they just need to fight for pride, try to ensure that the gap between themselves and Liverpool, who I expect to become champions eventually, is not too much that it becomes too embarrassing.
Well, we are still coming back to the Premier League, but I just want us to get deeply into La Liga, where Real Madrid suffered an unexpected loss away at Espanyol. That has cut their lead to just 1 point in the league ahead of Atletico Madrid, while they maintain 4 point lead ahead of Barcelona. Uh, Ahmed, That day was a very sad day uh, for the betting planet, and Madrid had every star player on the pitch, and they eventually lost that match. Uh, do you see this match having a ripple effect on the rest of the season, considering the fact that they lost Anthony Rudiger in that match to injury?
Well, I think the next game would tell us would paint a clearer picture. They face Atletico Madrid, who is also a title rival, at least as far as the season is concerned. Real Madrid will always be Real Madrid, so you'd expect them to bounce back from losses like that. Losses like that can happen, Espanyol, even though you'd expect Real Madrid to win. But because they've lost, you'd expect an immediate reaction. It's just that reaction now is expected in the derby against an Atleti team that's also fighting for the title. So it depends on how that game goes. I think that anything apart from a win in that game throws their league campaign into a turmoil, basically.
I think they
You
sort of like put themselves in a difficult situation because now it makes the tie against Madrid over the weekend a little more interesting and less say difficult. They've not won their last three ties against Atletico Madrid, so now they have to. They were coming from a position of advantage because they were previously 4 points ahead of Atletico Madrid. Now it's just a point. Now they wouldn't be playing with as much advantage they think they have. So that time is one we should really really look out for.
well, yeah, that do you think the league is still Madrid's to lose?
Well, this is just a personal belief. I always believe that the defending champion would always be favorites for me because you are in the best position to defend your title. You already know what it takes to win the title, and basically stuff. But that's just a personal opinion. So because of that, belief that I have, I think that it's still Madrid to lose. Also, when you consider the type of squad that they have, they've not been lucky with injuries this season. And I think that Atleti has really, you know, given them, they have really put some results. I wouldn't say Atleti has been particularly great, but they've put, consistent results on the table as well to put themselves in the mix. Like you already know, I'm not particularly in support of Barca winning this. I do not think that Barca will win. So I think it will most likely be between Atleti and Real Madrid. I still think it's Real's to lose, but a lot will depend on what they play this weekend. I think that if Real Madrid win, they might just have, that momentum again to then fire on for the rest of the season.
That has been well said. I'm just looking at a different scenario now. Madrid has been winning the league, the Champions League. They've been alternating these two trophies for the past 2, 3 years. Do you think, at the back of their mind, they are thinking of winning the treble?
You're thinking what?
Of winning the treble?
Uh, uh,
That,
well,
that would be very difficult.
at a big club, you would always want to fight for all trophies. But I don't think that every or any club sets out at the beginning of season to say we are going for the treble. I don't think it's obviously they will say, okay, we want to win all trophies available, but it's not particularly a standard objective or a main objective. If by say March, April, they still find themselves in all three competitions, then it becomes something that they actively target and say, okay, we can actually win this treble. But at this point, I think it's still too difficult. We're still in the second, in fact, playoff to the second round of the Champions League, which they are beating Manchester City. So it's difficult to say exactly. They might get knocked out in this playoff. Only God knows. So we'll see what happens by April. You should take much paper. We'll be able to see if they are fighting for the treble or not.
I have been warned not to ask if Man City are back, so I will not ask.
Don't even
But Arsenal,
don't even try it.
but Arsenal scored 5 against City at the Emirates, and City were not a man down. They finished the match with 11 players, and Arsenal literally humbled City at the Emirates. Let me just hear your comments. I don't have any question to ask before I am sanctioned. What went wrong with that match? Ahmed,
Yes, sorry, I didn't get your question clearly.
I said what went wrong for City in that match?
Everything went wrong. It is a long time coming. Before now, we must say that Arsenal has always been a tough one to crack for City before this very particular game. I can remember the first leg tie also. Arsenal played with a man down for more than 45 minutes, and it took a 96th minute Stones equalizer to get a 2-2 draw. So I think Arteta has found his perfect antidote against Pep Guardiola. They've always struggled to beat Arsenal in recent ties. And now, coupled with the fact that everything is working in favor of Arsenal because City are so very much out of form, they've struggled in many of their games in recent time. They actually struggled to beat Club Brugge in their make or break tie in the Champions League group phase. So now everything worked in their favor that day. They came into that game with very poor form. Arsenal started on a good note. Yes, they had some players missing in Saka and the likes, but that was never to pull them back. They got an early lead from an Akonji error, so they managed to get themselves back with a Haaland equalizer, but still Arsenal came all guns blazing and ended the match with 5 goals. So it is it is an impressive win, and I think it is long coming.
Well, Yinka, uh, at our last episode, you listed Man City's round of fixtures, and it had a lot of big teams. I think you listed like 6 matches, Newcastle, Arsenal, and the likes. Now they've lost to Arsenal. They are going to play Madrid midweek. Then they go to Newcastle. Do you see them scaling through these 2 matches?
Well, I think it will be difficult, really difficult. I expect Real Madrid to win against City. Because
City are at
I still
home.
do not think that. Well, I'm talking about both legs now. I expect Real Madrid to come out tops, over both legs and qualify. Because I still do not think that City are there yet, either psychologically or performance-wise. But even when you consider the fixtures that they now have, and you now put these 2 City games, or these 2 Real Madrid games rather, in between, it becomes even much more difficult. They've got Nottingham Forest, they've got Tottenham, they've got Liverpool, and I think they have one more game
Newcastle
with one of the big contenders. So I see it being a very, very difficult period for them. If they are able to scale through, also because most of the signings do not even understand Pep's ways yet. Yes, they may be good players, but Pep likes to play in a certain way, and sometimes it can take time for players to understand. These players have come in mid-season and they're expected to hit the ground running, It's not always that easy. So I think that they will really struggle over the next few games, which is why we've advised you that you should not even bother to ask us if we're back in it. Because I do not. If you ask again, you're still going to ask us next week.
So basically, they have Madrid, Newcastle, Madrid, then Liverpool. So
After Newcastle, they've got Madrid.
then they have Madrid first, then Newcastle.
They have
Okay.
Newcastle
Then they
in
have
the middle
Madrid.
of both Madrid ties.
Then they have Madrid second leg. Then they have Liverpool.
Can you just imagine? That's like getting sandwiched in between frying pan and fire. Because I don't understand how they're going to do. And these are games that they have to use their best squads for. If it was a game where you could maybe rest a few players and then still have a big chance of getting results, one could maybe give them a chance. But they have to use their best players for the Real Madrid game, and then use their best players for Newcastle because they're actually fighting against Newcastle for the top four spot.
In
And then
fact,
face Real Madrid, especially depending on what they play in the first leg. Face Real Madrid again for the second leg before then going to Liverpool that wants to win the league. In fact, I would not be surprised if they end up with 4 losses in a row. I wouldn't
It's
be
very
surprised.
possible. It's very possible. Okay. To one of the big results of the night, advantage Napoli. Inter succumbed to Fiorentina at the Amorim Frankie. Now, the funny thing is, Inter will host Fiorentina again on Sunday, I
on
believe. Yinka,
Monday.
Monday.
Yinka, are your fears finally coming to reality about Inter retaining the title this season?
Well, regardless of the result against Fiorentina, even if Inter had won tonight, I still would have had those fears because Inter this season has not particularly impressed me in terms of desire and wanting to win the title, the type of desire that they had last season. But this game was always a tricky game. A fixture that was postponed against a team that is high flying and on a ground that is very difficult to go to. I don't think that they've lost many games at home this season. I'm talking about Fiorentina. And from the moment that game restarted, it was very obvious that Inter was not going to win that game. I was very certain there were too many misplaced passes. That was second to all the 50-50 balls. We were making terrible crosses from the moment that the game restarted. So I was not surprised when that came true. Although I expect Inter to win the game on Monday. But a lot will depend on what happens, with Napoli now because it's all in Napoli's hands. Even though Inter might still have a chance to turn it around when we visit Naples, later in the season. But between now and then, I still do not trust Inter to take all of the points available, to the team.
Do you think fatigue played a role in today's loss?
Yeah, I 100% believe so. Fatigue played a role. I also think that Inzaghi, messed up a bit. I think he had upcoming games in mind too much. Instead of focusing on taking the 3 points available, he was thinking, too far ahead with the players that he chose to rest. If you look at the game that was, interrupted, where Eduardo Bove had the incidents that he had, Barella started that game. If I remember very well, Marco started that game as well. But because he had, the Fiorentina game on Monday, for example, and then other upcoming games in mind, he decided to bench some of those players. Obviously, those players were tired as well, but you still field your best 11, take the 3 points that you can take while you can take it, and then focus on upcoming games when the time comes. Personally, I would prefer that you field your best 11 now, and then in front of your fans at the San Siro, you can then play players like Pratesi and hope that the fans give them the extra ginger to bring home the 3 points. But away from home, you have to field your best squad, regardless of their energy levels.
Yeah. Ahmed, Milan got a draw in the derby. Few minutes to the end of the derby, Inter equalized, a very painful draw. Then Milan followed that with a 3-1 win over Roma. Do you see the team finally taking shape, or is still early days?
Well, I think the team is beginning to take shape. Reason being that one of the major reasons why they lost 2 points against Inter is the lack of depth. Inter had players like Bisek. Um, they had some strong guys coming on from their bench to change the game that day, but Milan could only rely on substitutes like Terracciano, um, Kamada in a big game against Inter. So that was where we lost it. The pressure coming in from Inter was too much and the team succumbed. So last night against Roma, they had the advantage of bringing in players like Jimenez, Joao Felix. This depth actually mattered and they made themselves counted. So that was one of the easiest games I've seen Milan won this season. You understand? So looking at the big picture, Conceição has managed 10 Milan games. He has lost just 2. Yes, some wins have been unconvincing, but a coach who came in mid-season and little time to implement his style or tactics, now that he's added depth, you understand, their quality is still in question, because you understand we are expected to adjust expectations accordingly. So, but I think we've brought in some depth that can help going forward into the season, and the team is beginning to take shape. So I expect to see better results, better performances. Now that we have Walker with his rich experience, he's showed his quality over the last 2 games he's played. We've had little to complain from the right back position. So qualities like that would stand up and get counted towards the end of the season. So I think the team should go better and perform a little better going forward from now.
Inter, finally on this roundup of European fixtures, United lost at home to Crystal Palace. Now, Ruben Amorim, he met United at 13th position. He has managed 13 matches, and United are still 13th. Do you
I'm
believe?
sorry, I don't know if you said anything, but I think the network is really bad, so I can hardly hear you.
Can you hear me now?
It's just breaking. I can't hear anything.
Okay, can you hear me now?
But if you're referring to Ruben Amorim and the state in which Man United have found themselves this season, I would say that, well, it was always a difficult job to take. The rots in the Manchester United squad, for lack of a better word, or should I say, the rots in Manchester United as a club is so deep that it takes just changing the code to correct all of those problems. I think that, considering what has happened, it's not a surprise really, to be very honest. To see for Manchester United, their aim now would be to just avoid relegation, finish the season in a respectable position, and then plan for next season. I saw some of their moves in the transfer window. The fact that they were willing to let go of Rashford says a lot about what Amorim is trying to achieve with the squad, in terms of giving their all and working hard and always turning up at 100%. It sends a very good message to the rest of the squad as well. Whether he would be able to follow through on it with some other players, because obviously Rashford is not the only bad egg in that squad.
Sure.
Remains to be seen. Also, how they're able to deal with some of the problems that they have off the pitch is also something that we would need to wait and see, because, like I said, it looks like a culture problem. That winning culture is no longer there. People just go there and do as they like. At least that's the way it looks from the outside, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Last week, on our last episode, we gave Yinka, Ahmed, Charles, and myself the opportunity to predict 3 matches: Bournemouth, Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Milan, Inter. Yinka said a Liverpool win and over 1.5. Correct. Liverpool won that match 2-0. Ahmed said Liverpool win 2-1. Ahmed said,
The scoreline.
yeah.
No,
Well,
I was not told to predict scoreline. It's called bet tips now for kind of.
Ahmed said 2-1. That was still in line with a Liverpool win. Carl said 2-1. That was in line with a Liverpool win. I said 2-2, so I got that wrong.
I think I remember Yinka
Arsenal versus,
said something in line of Liverpool scoring 4 goals or thereabouts.
Yeah, I said it wasn't my prediction, but I most likely see them scoring 3 or 4 goals. But my prediction was win and over 1.5. Yes or
which
no?
was correct.
It was
So
very correct. Ahmed is just looking
Arsenal,
for someone to join body.
Ars- Arsenal versus City, Yinka said a score draw. Nah, that's far. That was far from what happened. Ahmed said
What
a
game is that?
3-1 Arsenal City.
Sorry.
Arsenal City. Arsenal City.
Oh, Arsenal City. Okay. That's true. Okay. But
Yeah.
I just didn't I didn't see Arsenal losing that game anyways.
Well, you said a score draw. Ahmed said 1-3 City win. Class said 2-0 Arsenal win. And I said 3-1 City win. So only Class got that. While Milan Inter, Inter said 2-2. That match ended 1-1. So that's still a draw. Ahmed said Inter would win 3-0. That didn't happen. Class said Inter will win 4-0. That didn't happen. I said 2-2 draw. And I think myself and Yinka are still in line. So for last week, Yinka got 2/3. Ahmed got 1/3. Cars 2/3, and I got 1/3. So this week, quickly, I'll just give us the matches. You give me your predictions, whether the scoreline or the outcome the way you want it. That means we are going straight to the Madrid derby. Inter, Madrid, Atletico at the Bernabeu.
That's a tough one. Because based of quality, you would expect Real Madrid to win, but Madrid are lacking defenders at the moment, so it's a big factor. But I would still say a Real Madrid win, just based on the fact that Atleti is not really an attacking side. So I expect Real Madrid to be able to, undo them, so to speak. So I would say Real Madrid win.
Ahmed,
Well, Atleti actually surprised us against Barcelona. A game Barcelona totally dominated, but they stole it late into the game. And considering Madrid has not won this fixture in the last 3 times of trying.
you will win now.
Okay, I'll predict a full-time draw.
Full
Most
time
likely a
draw.
1-1 draw. Yes.
Okay, I will go a completely different way. I see Atletico Madrid winning. Atletico
Sorry?
Madrid win. Atletico
win.
Madrid win.
Okay, it is well with yourself.
Inter Fiorentina.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Did you say Inter
Inter
Fiorentina?
Fiorentina.
Well, like I mentioned earlier, I think that Inter will win that. Home advantage. I do not think that Fiorentina has beaten Inter at the San Siro in quite a while now, unless my memory, is failing a bit. But I expect Inter to win that game, especially also because some of the players that did not start tonight will be back. So Inter win as well.
Inter win.
And
Ahmed.
also, it's been long since Inter lost 2 games in a row.
Well, I think Inter will not want to lose back-to-back games. I believe so much in their mentality that they will not want to lose back-to-back games. I also believe they will win.
Inter win. Okay. I see a full time draw.
I hope so.
Why are you hoping? It's not like you guys can still catch us now.
I don't know. I don't understand what he's hoping for.
Rather,
Tired.
rather someone else than
Inter will
Ah,
not win the
it,
league.
it will
Forget
be
it.
someone else. It will not be Milan. That will be your headache.
Inter. Rather
Okay.
someone else.
Inter
City
will not even
Madrid.
win the league.
City Madrid.
City at home.
Yes.
Wow.
Anytime I think about that fixture, I just always think about Nunes against Vinicius Junior or Nunes against Mbappe. It's ringing in my head and I can't get it out of my head because I feel like Ancelotti is going to exploit that weakness a lot.
Can we
And
loan them? Can we loan them Walker?
because
But
I just
Madrid
don't
has
see
also
how
Madrid has also been struggling with scoring because
but
they lack.
City has been struggling with defending. They are conceding
Well,
like hell.
obviously they would leave space to be exploited at the back, so that would play in Madrid's football. Yeah, you have a point
Well,
there.
you also have to consider that Real Madrid do not have defenders at the moment. I think it will be a high
Well,
scoring game because
luckily
both
for them,
defensive and
Kamavinga is back.
Kamavinga is not a defender. He's just going to try.
I don't
I'm
know.
just saying.
I don't know what is lucky about that.
I'm just
I
pointing
think
out
it will
that
be
they
a high
are
scoring
recovering some
game.
of their players.
Okay,
I
high
would say
scoring game. Just tell us
3-2
something.
Real Madrid. 3-2 Real Madrid.
3-2 Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
That's
You see
bold.
that I'm putting my head on the line for correct score now. 3-2 Real Madrid.
Ahmed,
Can I change that?
you can change. Oh, yeah,
What's his
change. You
cash
want to
out?
3-1.
change.
3-1. 3-1. 3-1 Real Madrid.
What's his cash
3-1.
out?
Yes. 3-1 Real Madrid.
Okay. Oh. Ahmed, City Madrid.
For this fixture, I'll try not to predict the winning side, but I see a high scoring affair, so I'll go safely and say go and over 2.5.
Both teams to score and over 2.5.
I'm going for the high stakes. I'll be high odds. That's why I predicted correct.
Okay.
Can you place
For
a bet
me,
on it?
for me, I would say City to win it half.
Samson has the Man City bias. That's why I thought that Man City would beat Arsenal at the Emirates.
Even
That's why
when it is
he
very
keeps
obvious,
asking, are
the
they
result
back?
is
Are they
telling
back?
us
Are they
something
back?
else.
City to win it half. Please, you people should mind your position. Please.
All right.
Juve versus PSV.
Juve versus PSG. Oh, this
Lord.
That
for
match
Juve.
should
Juve
be
would win.
that match should be 0-0.
Juve would win.
Who's playing at home?
Juve.
Juve.
Juventus, PSG.
Juve would win.
Juventus.
PSV.
Somehow they've
Colomwani.
been able to. Yes, I don't know if Colomwani is registered for the Champions League with them. I don't know. I do not think that he will be registered. I don't think you're able to register until the second round, but I'm not sure.
The second
But
the second round. Milan
oh,
just
okay.
uploaded their new registration and they registered new signings in Walker, Joao
Okay.
Felix, and so the window is actually open for registration. I think it closes tomorrow.
Well, Joao Felix did not play Champions League this season, so that one is even easy to register. But I'm
Walker
also
played for
considering the fact that
City.
Colomwani played. Okay, Walker played for City. Okay.
Yes, as long as the
Um,
group ties are out, the cup tie players are now free to register.
all right. So I'm expecting Colomani to be registered. If Colomani is there, then I would see Juve scoring 1 or 2. Juve should score 2, and PSV might be able to score 1. I would say Juventus win or draw. Just on the off chance that Juventus spirit comes in again. Juventus win or draw, please.
Ahmed,
I wouldn't say Juventus spirit. I want that spirit.
Their own fixture, and they are currently on song. They have a Vlahovic who is motivated by the threat of Randall Colomwani. So I expect them to win.
Who is motivated?
Ahmed is your motivated
So
for.
I expect them to win and get a draw in the away fixture.
Wait for a
Juve
fixture.
win.
You will say
You don't
Well,
I would remind you guys.
for me, I would just say both teams to score. I don't know who will win.
In a Juve fixture.
Both teams to score. They've been conceding now.
Something.
They've
Both
been
teams to score in a
conceding,
Juve fixture.
so both teams to.
But I don't
Okay.
Juventus losing anyway.
Sporting Dortmund, Sporting at home.
Two struggling sides. Wow.
Dortmund concedes like hell, so I expect them to
Two
concede a
struggling
goal in that
sides. So I
game.
expect a Sporting win or draw.
Both teams to score.
You got both teams to score.
Yes. Both teams to score.
Oh, okay. Me, I'm saying both teams to score and over 2.5.
I don't know why I'm saying a 1-1, but I think it's both teams will score.
Those point ticket, 1-1K. I don't know where Ahmed has gone, but I am Feyenoord Milan here. Feyenoord Milan.
Milan away.
No, yes, Milan away.
Well, new signing Ginger on Milan. Feyenoord has also lost their main striker, Santiago Jimenez. So I expect that to affect them. I don't know who they've replaced him with, but Milan now have firepower. I would expect but the jury is still out on Milan. I'm still. I want to see them over, say, 5 games before I can say that. Oh yes, this team is back. So because of that, I wouldn't jump to say that in Milan straight. I'll say Milan win or draw. Just on the off chance that Milan do not. No.
Okay. I think I believe Conceição will go to England and at least get a draw too. I don't see us going out guns blazing to try and win. So I would say Milan win or draw too. I don't know what Ahmed will have predicted. Maybe Milan win and over 2.5. He has a Milan bias. I don't share the bias. Okay, the last match here is Bruges Atalanta. Atalanta away.
That's in Belgium. Club Brugge, they lost to City, but they gave City a scare as well. At home with their fans, but Atalanta knows how to win games like this. They know how to win games like this. I'll go all out and say Atalanta win and over 5.
Atalanta win and over 2.5. Wow.
No, over 1.5. I beg 1.5. 1.
Over 1.5. Atalanta win and over 1.5.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't trust any team, any of them to win, honestly. So I will just keep it safe and say over 2. Over 2 goals.
I think Atalanta will beat them. Atalanta knows how to navigate games like this. Although I would like to see the team they have next in the Premier League, in the Serie A, so that I will know if they are going to rest player. Cagliari at home. I think Atalanta will beat them.
Okay. Well, we'll wait and see.